Most gardeners throw away the most powerful fertilizer they ever grow, right in their kitchen bin. Banana peels. And the mistake isn't just wasting them. It's ignoring what they actually do inside the soil. When used incorrectly, they rot on the surface, attract pests, and do almost nothing for plant growth. But when used properly, they can significantly improve flowering, fruiting, and overall tomato yield stability. The real problem in most gardens isn't lack of nutrients. It's that nutrients are not being released in a usable form at the right time. Tomatoes especially suffer from this. You'll see strong vines early in the season, then weak flowering, poor fruit set, or inconsistent ripening. That's usually not a fertilizer shortage problem. It's a soil biology timing problem. Before I break down how banana peels actually change tomato performance, I want to mention a tool I use constantly when managing garden beds and containers. The YAMRON 4-in-1 soil moisture meter helps me understand what's happening in the root zone instead of guessing from leaf color or surface dryness. Most gardeners unknowingly overwater or underwater tomatoes, and then try to fix it with more fertilizer, which only makes things worse. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Once you can read your soil properly, everything else becomes easier. Now let's talk about banana peels. Most people just bury them whole or toss them into compost and hope for the best. That's the slowest and least effective method. Whole banana peels can take weeks to break down, and in that time they often become food for pests instead of plants. What I've found through repeated testing in raised beds and container systems is that preparation method matters more than quantity. For tomatoes, potassium is the key driver of flowering and fruit development. Banana peels are naturally rich in potassium, but that nutrient isn't immediately available unless you process it correctly. The method I use is simple but precise. I dry banana peels completely until they become brittle, then grind them into a fine powder. This changes everything because surface area determines how fast nutrients enter the soil system. Instead of slow decomposition happening randomly, you get controlled nutrient release that actually matches the plant's growth cycle. For every tomato plant, I apply about 1 to 2 tablespoons of this powder every 3 to 4 weeks during the active growing and flowering stage. I don't overload it because excess organic matter without balance can create microbial competition in the soil instead of nutrient release. And here's something most gardeners don't realize. Tomatoes don't just need potassium. They need consistent potassium availability. If it spikes and drops, you get irregular fruiting. That's why this slow, steady release from processed banana peel powder works better than occasional heavy feeding with synthetic fertilizers. I tested this in a raised bed comparison where one side received standard store-bought fertilizer every 2 weeks, and the other side received compost-based feeding plus banana peel powder. The synthetic-fed plants grew faster early on, but by mid-season, the banana peel group had more stable flowering and less blossom drop, especially during heat stress periods. That stability is what most gardeners actually want, even if they don't realize it. Now let's go deeper into why timing matters more than people think. Tomato plants don't absorb nutrients evenly throughout the season. Early growth demands nitrogen, flowering demands potassium and phosphorus balance, and fruit development requires stable calcium and consistent moisture conditions. If any one of those swings too hard, the plant reacts with stress signals like curling leaves, flower drop, or uneven fruit size. This is where banana peel fertilizer fits perfectly into a larger system, not as a standalone miracle input, but as a steady potassium support layer during fruiting stages. And this is also where most kitchen fertilizer hacks fail. People treat them as one-time solutions instead of part of a feeding system that changes with plant stages. Another mistake I see often is placing banana peels directly at the base of tomato stems. That creates localized decomposition, uneven nutrient distribution, and sometimes attracts ants or flies. Instead, I always mix the powder into the topsoil and lightly cover it with compost or mulch. This allows soil microbes to distribute nutrients evenly around the root zone. In container gardening, I reduce the amount slightly because nutrient buildup happens faster in confined soil volumes. About 1 tablespoon per plant is enough, followed by proper watering to activate microbial breakdown. And speaking of watering, this is where most tomato problems actually begin. If the soil is too dry, nutrients don't move. If it's too wet, roots suffocate and nutrient uptake drops. That's why I rely on moisture readings instead of visual guessing. The YAMRON 4-in-1 soil moisture meter has helped me avoid the most common mistake in tomato growing, overwatering during fruit development. I've seen more tomato failure from watering errors than from fertilizer issues. Once moisture is stable and potassium input is consistent, tomato plants become far more predictable. You get stronger flowering cycles, better fruit set, and fewer mid-season crashes. In hydroponic systems, I don't use raw banana material directly, but I still apply the same principle: stable potassium availability. Instead of organic decomposition, I maintain nutrient balance in solution form. The concept is identical: steady access, not sudden spikes. What this all comes down to is simple. Banana peels are not magic. They are a resource. And like any resource, their effectiveness depends on how you prepare and apply them within a system that respects plant biology. If you're only throwing them into soil and hoping for results, you'll see minimal improvement. But if you process them correctly and apply them at the right growth stage, they become a reliable support for tomato productivity. The difference between average harvests and strong harvests is rarely about exotic inputs. It's about how well you manage consistency and soil conditions. If this helped you understand tomatoes better, subscribe to FarmLogic for more real-world gardening methods tested in raised beds, backyard gardens, containers, and hydroponic systems. And share this with someone still throwing banana peels away without realizing what their garden is missing. Because once you understand soil timing and plant nutrition, you stop guessing, and you start growing with control and consistency season after season.